Hey everybody, Professor Ellis, doing the second video to answer some of your discussion questions. I only have, I have about three or four from two of you, and figure that the questions or the answers will be helpful to the entire class. So if you have questions and you haven't posted them to the discussion board, please do that. I've read all the discussions. I think that I've pulled all the questions. If I missed yours, please let me know. Please respond to either the email or shoot me an email and say, hey, Professor Ellis, you've got my question, or I posted something on week one or whatever. And just let me know, and I'll do another video probably on Monday or so. I think that is your last discussion post. I'm not mistaken. I don't want to misspeak or get anybody nervous, but I think that may be the last one. I also do another video giving you detail on how to navigate your video process. Okay, so you want to make sure you're in a quiet space to record your video and upload that between 9 and 2 on Wednesday. All right, so let's jump into some questions because I taped this twice already. I know, and I like this software, but I believe my computer, I have so many files on here. It's not enough space to save the video. So I've cleared some space, so I think we're good. Okay, now let's jump into it real quick. All right, first question. Elvis asks, I'm a marketing major. Are there any instances where I would have to work with public relations or even have the chance to work for public relations, even though I'm planning to get a marketing degree? The answer is yes. You will have an opportunity based on the company that you end up working for to do some PR related tasks or to work with a PR department. So I'll give you an example of how that may work. Here at Lipscomb, we have the University Communication and Marketing Department. And the way they work is the PR and marketing tasks are integrated. Now, I don't know a whole lot about the internal workings of how they operate and the roles, etc. But there are a series of tasks and responsibilities that need to happen within that department, and different members of the team are assigned to those specific things. Just like any organization. However, when PR and marketing all kind of fall under the same department, that means that certain individuals could be working on a little bit of both, things that would be considered more marketing versus some that are considered more PR. You may have a little bit of both that you're working on. You may have one more than the other based on how that particular department is governed and organized. Now, in some companies, your PR department is a completely different department. Your marketing is a completely different department. In fact, in very large companies, your marketing department may be in another completely different city, and your PR department may be at the corporate headquarters. It just depends on how that organization works. So also, if as you look for jobs and internships, you'll maybe see in the position title PR/marketing director or marketing and PR coordinator. That means that there are some tasks that will be assigned to you that will be expected for you to know a little bit about both, okay? And to have some experience in maybe one a little bit more than the other, but usually those tasks are combined. Sometimes they're not combined. It just depends on the organization. So I hope that was helpful. All right. The next question from Kaylee. Kaylee asks, I'm curious about what is the most challenging thing about being in public relations? Do you think the industry will continue to grow? And then how do you think the job will advance in the next 10 years? Well, PR isn't going anywhere. In fact, the industry is growing and growing very fast. So the next 10 years, I'll give you the past 10 years. So the past 10 years, the industry has grown tremendously. I think you can do some research on PRSA, the organization I'm a part of, and I invite you all to be a part of as well. We do have a PRSA chapter here on campus. The research essentially says that the industry is in such demand, there'll be no question of how to get jobs in the industry. The trick is, how do you get into the industry because of the demand? Now, that doesn't mean that there are jobs left and right. It means that there is a significant amount of jobs. So what it means is that there is a lot of competition. And you have people who are very talented, and that's a great thing, which is why I give the kinds of assignments I do, and I work with the students the way that I do, because I know that the industry is very competitive. And top talent, high level talent, high skill, creative talent is going to be required for you to get into the industry. So the jobs will continue to grow the next 10 years. What do I see for the next 10 years? I think we're already kind of where we need to be. A lot of changes don't happen in our industry for about 5 to 10 years. So I think that we'll continue to see more integration within the industry, more mobile use as it relates to more integration of apps, creative spaces, virtual spaces, etc. We're going to see more technology in our industry, more definitely. We already see it anyway, but I think we're seeing it more. We're going to see more of it as the industry grows, and the job market will also continue to grow, but it will continue to be competitive. What is the most challenging thing about being in public relations for me personally? I'll give you my personal opinion on that. Is the time commitment. A lot of work needs to be done in this industry, and sometimes it's busy. Sometimes you're traveling. Sometimes you have deadlines. We work on deadlines. It's just like a journalist may work on a deadline, or many other people in other industries work on deadlines. We are a deadline-driven industry. So being able to get things done by a certain time frame is critical. So that and making sure that you have time to live a life and try to have some sort of work-life balance, even though I don't believe work-life balance is real personally. That is the most challenging thing personally, I think, is your time commitment that it takes to do the work and to be great at it in this industry. Does it mean that every position requires a lot of time for you to take work home and to have to travel and be available 24 hours? No, not every position will require that. But there are several positions, just like a doctor might or an attorney might, etc., need to be available on a 24-hour basis, or need to pick up the phone if something happens, if something bad happens, if a crisis goes on, if they need to travel with a client, if you need to travel on behalf of your company, if you need to be on vacation but you can't turn your phone off or you can't leave your laptop behind. That may be a lifestyle issue, okay? So for me personally, that's what I think is the most challenging. All right. The next question is also from Elvis, I believe, and he asks, how do you go about regaining or establishing repetition, or I think that's what the word is, yes, if something illegal or unethical has happened to your company, and due to recent times, media has been such a big influence, so you think there would be a time where PR would not focus on media and forget about other channels, or will focus just on media and forget about other channels, if that makes sense? Yes, that does make sense. First question, ethical or illegal? Usually your legal team, or you may have someone that handles issues management, etc. A legal team within a company, your attorneys, etc., will jump in when there's something illegal that has happened within a company. If your CEO has done something wrong, or something of that nature, they will usually jump in. But that doesn't mean that you are not in the picture. Your PR person will always, always, always be in the picture, working on messages that need to go out to your consumers and to your employee base. There always needs to be within any organization a crisis plan. That crisis plan needs to kind of be sitting in the drawer somewhere in case something bad happens. That's exactly what it is. It's kind of like that fire extinguisher. In case of fire, break glass. That's your crisis plan. And you take that crisis plan, and it's basically just a protocol manual for saying, when we get in trouble, this is what we do. This is who we talk to. This is who we get the information from. This is how we notify media. This is what we do with social media, etc. That is what you would need for any type of ethical issue. If it were, say, Nabisco, and they have a peanut butter brand, can't remember if Jif or whatever, Peter Pan or whatever those peanut butter brands is that they make. But let's just say Nabisco was in trouble because some of their peanut butter got contaminated. Let's just say that, for example, as a case study. Let's just say perhaps someone working in the plant knew about the contamination and didn't think it was that much, and now all of a sudden jars of peanut butter are across on the shelves in different grocery stores across the country, and there's an outbreak of people who use the peanut butter and they're sick. Then that's an ethical issue, right? It may not be illegal, a legal issue. That's an ethical issue that someone knew. But what if someone didn't know, right? If someone didn't know, then that could be an ethical issue, but it still means that we need to go about handling with a communication strategy. As a result, we then respond to it with the issue of, how do we let our customers know we care about them and they're safe, and we make any type of concessions for them, making sure that they've gone to the doctor, getting them the information that they need about what might happen if they have some symptoms, etc. That's a communication process. So it all also may follow up with a campaign after the situation has kind of, died down and people aren't thinking about it anymore. Maybe there's a campaign we need to come up with to try to build back that public trust within our consumer base again, so that people will think, no, it feels okay. Think, let me go back. Know, feel, think, and do. That's one of the key critical things that you want a campaign or any type of PR related strategy to be centered around. What do I want my audiences to know, feel, think, and do? Know, feel, think, and do. And when you consider that, as it relates to building a campaign or a strategy, you'll always be thinking about your consumers and your audiences, etc. Whether it's consumer or whether it's your internal publics, which is your employees, your donors, etc. All right. So there are a number of things that you can do, but you always want to start with, of course, telling the truth and being honest. That's the first rule of thumb. Is always tell the truth, and tell the truth as soon as possible. Okay. I think the next question was, will there ever be a time where um, uh, we only focus on media, forget other channels of PR? Absolutely not, because everything works together. That's how you get a strategy. Media is not the only thing that is going to work well to influence and impact audiences. There may need to be a series of events. You cannot rule out social media. Social media is critical. So no, you must do an integrated approach. You also need to think about ways where you create things where people can do some type of outreach where you're building some type of trust with them through sending things to their home, letters, mail campaigns, direct mail, etc. How do I get into a person's home, etc. How do I invite people to come touch and feel my audience, or not my audience, my brand, etc. All of it works together. You can't always only solely rely on media. So I don't think that there'll ever be a time where we'll only rely on media. That all the channels work together in order to make a strong strategy. Okay, I think that's it. As I said, this is my third time trying to record this one. Again, I got the files off my computer, so I think I'm good. So I have plenty of space. So I'm going to stop recording now just in case, and I'm going to prepare to send you instructions for your final on how to record that. Start working on it. But I'm going to send you instructions on that. And any other questions that you want me to answer, put them in an email. If I missed your question in the discussion, send that to me, and I'll do another video on Monday answering your questions for either assignments or for just the discussion in general. Okay? Thank you. Talk soon.